Tamily. It's time for our 78th Ask Tamily interview, which will be with Kathy. Her Instagram name is tam_on_the_east side. Want to make sure you get that totally right. And we will be asking her some questions that we have planned. But the thing that's the most fun is if you ask questions live as well. And we have Kathy connecting in just a second.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm not in frame. I'm oddly nervous for this, and I don't know why.
I don't know why either. People always are nervous, but we're just talking about Tracy.
And that's like my favorite thing to talk about. I've become such a bore to people who don't do Tracy.
Luckily, this audience loves to talk about Tracy, so that'll work out well. We appreciate you being our 78th Ask Tamily interview.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw you guys at Vitality Week and I heard what you did, and I'm like, oh no, I don't know if I could ever do that. But now, being a part of it, it's great.
Yeah, we're so happy. And happy 2020. So we'll go ahead and get started with some of the questions we planned for you. And of course, we'll scroll through the chat as well and take some live questions. But let's start with one of our favorite questions, which is, why did you choose the Tracy Anderson method versus other fitness methods?
Well, so way back when, before I started my fitness journey, I had just gotten separated and I was living in a new town. And I remember Googling, or I think I was on Amazon, and I said, what is the hardest workout? Because I'm really intense like that. I was an athlete in high school and college, and then I ran marathons a couple times, and then I just ate everything intensely. And I was like, I need to get back in shape. So I was like, I read that Tracy Anderson's really hard. And then I became completely obsessed. So I started doing the mat workout in my house, and it was impossible. And I was all alone. So I was in this new town, and I didn't know anybody, and I was separated from my husband. So I was kind of isolated working at home. So that's when I found it. And I've always been obsessed with Tracy. This is amazing. How does she do these things? Where does she come up with it? But then I kind of moved into yoga and got involved in the yoga community here where a lot of my friends are. But then I don't know what happened. My friend sent me an Instagram video of Catherine Raz. She's like, check this woman out. And I'm like, what is going on here? She's got a pole. She's in this yellow in her garage. She's in great shape. And I'm like, it's Tracy Anderson. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's streaming. So that's really what brought me back into it. And I was like, well, I'll do it in combination with yoga. And I can't believe if you'd asked me a year ago at this time, would you stop doing yoga every single day? And I'd be like, never. And then I started doing this, and I still do yoga from time to time because I just love the community, but I can't believe, what I was missing by not doing this. So that's my story.
That's here. So how long ago was it probably that you had your first experience with Tracy? Years and years, when the Matt DVD first came out?
I think it was 2012.
Okay. Wow.
So I don't know. That's, I read all 12,000 Amazon reviews. I'm joking, but I did read a lot. And everyone's like, start with the mat method. And I'm like, I can do this. And I remember I couldn't wear sneakers. I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't lift my legs, so I wouldn't wear sneakers. And I had this house that didn't have air conditioning, and on the second floor it was a really old house, and it was so hot up there, and I was just dying doing it. I'm like, why am I doing this with my arms over and over again? So, and then I started back up again with the streaming, I'd say in a full bore if that's bored, whatever, in March of 2018.
Okay. Excellent. So we're coming up on exactly 2 years on that. So who in the family inspires you?
Who or how?
Who? Or both?
Well, I mean, everyone is an inspiration. Like, you're an inspiration. You get up there on live, and first of all, you know how to use Instagram, right?
Sort of.
And you do it, and what you have done since I saw you at Vitality Week is fucking amazing. Like, I love that determination and that drive to get something done. And I see that in everyone that's, you know, part of this community. Like, specific people that, you know, I love, you know, obviously there's Loretta. Loretta is, you know, a goddess. And when I don't know what I'm doing, I'm like, you know, let me look at Loretta, because she probably is doing it right.
Yeah.
Catherine Raz again. I think anybody, so I don't have kids. So I work from home. I've got a really good setup, you know. Anyone that I see with kids on them, or, you know, doing it late at night, they are inspiring to me, because it's hard to get up and do this. Like, it's just tough. So
yeah, definitely. I totally agree. How do you personally get and stay motivated to work out regularly?
A long time ago, when I decided to change my life from what it was to what it is now, like, I was incredibly, incredibly unhappy. I mean, you heard the story, like 2 packs a day, all the food, like, it was ridiculous. I told myself that I was going to not live as long as I wanted to. I was not going to have the life that I wanted. And I considered this my job. So, like, I have a real job, like a job that pays me, but this is my job. Like, I put it on my calendar. It's like, I put it on my calendar in such a way that people who are visible to my calendar see it. Okay. And they think I'm crazy. I mean, maybe I'm in a place, you know, at my company where they don't really care if I, you know, do it like 9 o'clock in the morning, if I can't do it in the morning. But it is, I consider it my job. It's my obligation to myself.
That's an excellent perspective.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Have you ever met Tracy?
Oh, yes. I went to Vitality Week last year in the Hamptons, where I met all the best. Well, not the best. I met some of my favorite people. That was just such an amazing experience. Like, I just didn't expect her to be so open. And, like, I think I read somewhere, like, oh, she acts like your friend. And I'm like, I've got some friends. I hope she doesn't act like them. But she was so open, and, like, I just couldn't believe it. And it was like, she took the time with everybody. It's not what I expected. And I did that Vitality Week totally on like I was like, okay, I'll do this. And what am I doing? You know, I don't know anybody. I don't even have like a dedicated TAM account. But she was amazing. And the time she spent with me and talked to me about, I mean, it's so valuable. She's great. And I'm going out to Steamboat. I told myself if I hit my quota, if I exceed my quota in a certain amount, I would go to Steamboat. And so I did. I mean, my husband's just like, wait a minute, we're doing what? I'm like, it's okay. So
that's awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I wish you were going to be there. Are you going to
go? No, but I keep getting tempted, but I know. At this point.
Yeah.
It's a serious decision, although I'm sure it will be totally, completely worth it and totally, completely amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yes. No. But it'll be wonderful. So my next question for you is, have you ever been to a Vitality Week or a studio? But obviously we know you've been to both. Can you just tell us a little more about your personal experience at the Vitality Week?
Oh, yeah. So, I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, I know there's a lot of people that go to them every year. I've been to many of them, and I've been following Tracy for years. I probably have been following her for, I think it was maybe 8 or 9 months at that time. I don't know. Maybe it was, I don't remember. But, I mean, I've always been following, but I haven't been following the workout strictly. It was so refreshing to, you know, first of all, the studio is beautiful. You know, her and her staff aside, the people that were there were so uplifting and so just supportive. And it wasn't in like an artificial, it was very authentic. And because, you know, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, yeah, you know, like sorority stuff. And that's not what it was like. Everyone was very real. I got to exercise with you and Nicole in our little sweaty space. And it taught me, you know, a lot about the method, but it also taught me a lot about myself and how I'm sometimes I'm an outgoing person, but I'm a little standoffish. Like I didn't really put myself out there, and I kind of regretted that. Like you had a party, and I didn't even like. I got the flyer and I put it in my bag, probably because I was so exhausted from the workout, and then I ate like a giant cookie and fell asleep. And I like didn't even look at it, and I was just like, I feel like that was really when I missed out, and that kind of bummed me out a little bit. But yeah, it was a great experience. Like I said, I wish I could do that once a month.
Oh my gosh, yes,
right?
totally.
Awesome.
I wish it was my job to go to my
right? And I loved also like watching Tracy, like the intensity that she does something. Like that is, first of all, it makes me feel better because I feel like I just get into this like not crazy, I get into this zone where I'm like, you know, just nothing else matters right now. And she walks in and she's not distracted by the people. Like, oh my God, because you are starstruck. I mean, she's like this little person. She walks in and she's got this, you know, crazy, amazing outfit on, and she just goes, and you're like, wow, it's neat. So I could talk again a whole hour on that.
Right, we could do just a vitality interview. What would be your advice to someone who's new to the method and to the Tamily at this point?
Well, new to the method, I would say stick with it, because when you first start doing this, especially streaming, like I've had friends who tried it and they're just like, what is going on? You know, they don't want to take the time to learn her movements and kind of learn to track her and understand the angles. Like if you dedicate, it's not, you know, people are like, I don't have the time. Well, you know, you don't have to be fully immersed, but you just have to watch the breakdown and focus on the movements and do it once and then do it the next day and just keep doing it. Like that's what somebody told me when I first started yoga, like come back tomorrow. I'm like, I don't know, like come back tomorrow. And I did. And that's what everyone has to do. Like it gets easier. You learn it. I mean, no, you don't learn it really. Every time a new class comes out, I'm kind of, well, obviously we're all like, what's going on? But it is worth it to invest that time in yourself because it does give benefits and it changes your body like nothing else. So that's what I would say. And I would also say to them, if they feel like intimidated by the Instagram thing, which I am, I am not an avid Instagrammer. Like I will put things out there and I don't like to comment a lot. I'm just not very good at it. You don't have to do it. You know, you don't have to do it. Like that's not a requirement.
Right.
Do it for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But I like that you post because I want to wear all your clothes. So that's fun to me.
The clothes situation is a real, it's an issue. It's an issue. I mean, so I have a lot of discounts from being a yoga teacher. So I use them and I work from home. So this is pretty much what I wear. But thank you very much. I have to stop buying so much. I mean, what is wrong with me?
Well, I should buy them from you because everything you wear, I'm like, that's amazing. I would wear that outfit.
Oh, you're so sweet.
All these crazy shirts with like no back. I love that. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, all my crazy like Poshmark bathing suits that I buy, which is always a questionable thing. I'm like, what's going on here? But I buy a lot of those, and like some of them are super, like they're like $12. So
but they're so cool.
I'm like, I'll cut the bottom off.
That would work. So we have a question in the chat from Nicole, and she said, how did the Vitality experience change your perspective about Tracy and the Tamily?
Well, what would you say? I'm sorry.
How did the Vitality Week experience change your perspective of Tracy and the Tamily?
Oh, well, it was a 180. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I thought Tracy was going to teach the class. I thought she was going to maybe say a few words. I didn't know we were going to get the level of interaction and access basically to her. I mean, she was there and she did everything. And so it changed my perspective on her and the fact that, you know, I mean, listen, I have diva moments and I'm not, you know, I'm just some salesperson in Cleveland. I mean, I expected far more diva moments from her. And she was totally just very cool. And like, even with the way she dressed, like it wasn't like a fashion show. For some, you know, that kind of gets in my head, like, oh, you know, what's going to happen here? So, and she was she really wants you to succeed and she really wants you to be your best self. She puts her entire heart and soul into this for all of us, which I don't see a lot of people in that industry doing authentically. And in terms of the Tamily, I mean, I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, there's a bunch of very in shape women with very cool clothes. Everyone, again, super supportive, so nice, and like an instant, wait for it, family of people. And it was, you know, I think the joke was like, welcome to the cult. Like, it is. It's kind of like this group of people that, you know, talk in sort of like this lingo and this code, but they're all there for each other. There was no cattiness. There was no like, I mean, it was, I might have actually done that when I was waiting for the bathroom though. I was like, what is this person doing in there? Like, you cannot be in there that long. But it was a complete 180. It was a great experience. I'm so glad I did it.
We're glad you did it too. Kim has 2 questions for you. Are you doing Attain only? And what changes have you seen since the Vitality Week?
Great. So I do Attain, and I do a little dance sometimes because I feel like I see people dance, like I can do that, and I do it. I'm like, oh, no. So I do Attain primarily because of the time. I could go down the rabbit hole of watching these classes and breaking them down, and I could spend hours and hours on that, and I can't do that because I've got other things to do. So I primarily do Attain. If I'm feeling sore, then maybe I'll look at fundamentals or a multitask. But I try to do Attain 6 or 7 days a week. And the changes I've seen in my body since Vitality Week, well, first of all, we talked a lot about being glute-centric, which I didn't know. Like, I'm confused by the centrics, but I do know that I have the flattest ass on the face of the earth. And when I stood up and I had this really extended, overbuilt rectus abdominis from yoga and the handstanding, like, you know, yoga, I can do most things in yoga and it's all core. And that is just what caused this big, it's not like it's even fat. It was just a protruding, it was an imbalance, a muscle. So, you know, really focusing on engaging my glutes. And the big question I got after this, like, well, how do you engage your glutes? I'm like, well, you just have to not use your other muscles. Like when you're doing like a leg lift or something, you have to think, okay, am I using my butt? Because it's really easy to use your hamstring and your quad or your hip flexor. You have to focus on doing that. And that's where the angles and everything come into play. So I went home after Vitality Week and I got really strict on my diet. I told my husband, no more 2,000 calorie cookies. Who does that? And I mean, the changes were amazing. I was so happy with myself. I went on vacation then. I went home for the holidays. And again, I don't know, the cookies came back into my life. But I've noticed that I'm less developed up here from Tracy. Like when I was doing yoga, I was like very large shoulders, very big, broad back. I still have a broad back. I kind of like that because it kind of gives me a waist. And I've noticed that my abs are less, that they're kind of pulling in. The muscles are pulling in. My husband used to always make fun of my like line here in your stomach. He's like, what is that? Like, well, actually, that's a muscle. And he actually said, like, I think a month ago, he's like, it's amazing how different your abs look. I'm like, great, I'm going to go to Vitality Week. So, but those are the changes.
Let me see if there's any other questions in the chat right now. There's a lot of smiley faces and stuff. You'll have to scroll through this.
I don't even know how to do that. What do I do? Do I just...
Yeah, you can just move the screen a little bit and you can see what people are saying. But I think we asked all the questions. have you ever done the glute-centric bonus content?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm somebody should just not allow me to have technology. Can I go back to my Motorola StarTAC, like the flip phone?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I have done some of the glute-centric. Before I found out that I was glute-centric, I was doing like the omni-centric. Because, I mean, I think everyone thinks they're either, I don't know, maybe not. I always thought that I was omni. I have done it a couple times, and, I see this one woman. First of all, everyone is just their names in Instagram. Like, I know that your name is Suzanne, but you're also just Tampa. Like, and I know you don't even live there anymore.
Right.
So, like, there's a girl named Icy. I think that's her name, and she is like amazing, and she's got this great house too. And I'm like, she is consistent with the tain, and then the centrics. I'm like, well, why don't I do that? I'm like, well, because at the end of the tain, I'm ready to die.
Yeah.
So I've got to build up to that. But I would do those if I had the endurance, I guess. I'm working on that.
Okay, that's a good point. What is your advice to someone who is not new to the method, but they're not feeling motivated?
Like they would actually, but they're having a hard time getting back into the swing of things, or like something's happened in their life that, right, that's totally relatable. I just, and it happens to me, I lose a big sale, or, somebody in my family's sick. I get in a fight with my husband, I don't know. I don't want to do things. And it's this process. I tell myself, no, you told yourself in 2012 that you were never going to go back to that person. This is your job. You don't have to go in there and put on the camera and put on the best outfit, but you have to go in there and you have to do something. You don't have to wait 2 hours for the room to heat up, but go work out and you will feel better. And I do. And when I was going through my divorce, it was just, that was the only thing that got me through it. Like, I was like, I could either go drink all of the wine and eat hot dogs, or I could throw myself into exercise. And that's what really was like the sea change for me, was learning that was so therapeutic for me. And so if you're not motivated, think of it like, yeah, I know you're not motivated, but you just do it. Do 15 minutes, do a half an hour, do a multitask, do whatever. Just do it, because you're going to feel better. And if your body hurts, then start, but just do it. Like, I hate that expression because it's on my pants, I think, right now, but like, it's your job. Do it for yourself. Yeah,
exactly. That's, thinking about it as your job just gives it a totally different perspective. Instead of more like, it's another thing I have to do or something I have to complete. Like, this is what I'm here for, is to be healthy in this body. Like, that's what your focus should be,
Absolutely. Like, you can't, I mean, all the cliches, aside, the if you're not there for yourself, how can you be there for anybody else? But like, my husband used to say to me, like, you put more emphasis on working out than you do your real job. And I'm like, my real job is giving me money and stress. Okay. If I can't do that without doing this. Yeah. So if I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and you're going to have to carry my weights to Europe, you're going to have to do that. I'm sorry.
Right. Do you have any tips for doing the method while traveling?
Yeah, so I travel a lot, and obviously if I'm driving, I just put all my stuff in my car. But if I fly, I wear them.
Okay.
I wear the weights on the plane. You get a lot of looks, and I have security. I've got the TSA thing, and I've got clear and all that stuff. They still, sometimes they want me to take them off and put them through, but it's not a big deal. Like, if you're prepared for that, I think that's the best way. Sometimes I check them, but you have to be worried about these large, dense masses in your luggage. So if I do, I put them right on top, so they just, the rummaging is to a minimum. What else I do, and I also, if I know I'm going somewhere, I'll ship a set there. If I can, like, the hotel will hold them for me. Or I have Amazon ship a set there. Yeah. I mean, so, every single family member that I go to visit has like a whole set of like my setup.
Yeah. So do you try to bring all the weights, or do you just bring ankle weights, like if you have to bring them with you?
I bring the ankle weights. I do definitely bring the ankle weights. That is something you can always find an alternate for the hand weights. You know, even if you're traveling, you can go to like I went to a sporting goods store in Italy and I bought some hand weights. I mean, I have to say that's not the budget friendly way of doing things, but you can, you know, a water bottle, a bag of coffee, something, you know.
Yeah.
Like cell phone battery.
Right. Something.
Something.
Why is your workout important to you?
Because again, that promise I made to myself, and it's my time. It's the thing that, you know, that makes me able to do the rest of my life. You know, like if I don't do it, it is, and I get that to some people this is like, okay, this is obsessive. Yeah. That's who I am. You know, I have to do it. And if I know that I'm not going to get to it today, I have to, you're going to have to be okay with this, that you didn't do it today. You know, don't go doing 2 tomorrow. Like that used to be my mentality. And I'm 47. I can't do that to my body. It's not the same as it was. But it's what makes me able to live my life, is how I want to, is doing any sort of exercise, but particularly the Tracy Anderson method.
We talked about the fact that you do attain and some dance cardio. Do you have like a routine around that, or you just do it when you feel like it?
Oh, usually if I'm particularly inspired, you know, Sass Tam, again, that's her name to me. I think her name is Cassie. Right. You know, seeing her and Kim and, you know, all these people learn the dances is just amazing. I'm like, so, you know, I go in there and try, especially if I have a lot of energy that I want to burn off. Like if something bad happened at my job or I'm pissed off at somewhere, that's my thing. Like I'm going to jump up and down and I want to just punch, you know. Right. So that's right. So maybe like once a week I'll do like a 15-minute like bonus. I love the Shanae Nay's version. I did her band class last time. It was in New York, and she's amazing. She's got all of the energy. I'm like, what? It's just so much.
Yeah, she is fantastic. What do your friends and family think of the Tracy Anderson method?
So my friends, you know, they see it and they see the results in me. But I do think there's like a certain amount of trepidation. Again, they've tried it and they're like, well, I don't understand what the first 10 minutes is. Like, where's the choreography? I'm like, you're all smart people, okay? So watch her. But everyone now, I think a lot of people are like, oh, she's making it up. This isn't real. This isn't real science. You know, all the things that people say. And I'm like, it doesn't really matter what you think as long as it's making me feel good and doing what I want it to do to my body. So there's a lot of the naysayers and a lot of people, oh, it's too much time. You have to have a dedicated room. I'm like, no, I'm lucky to have a dedicated room. You don't have to do that. But I know that my husband is like just like obsessed with like how she like can, the whole streaming aspect of it. Like he's like, this is a genius idea. We should do this. And we'll see. I'm not her. Like this is her stuff. You know? Right. But yeah, it's people. You know, they think it's a little strange at first. They're like, that's not working out. That's stupid. Like it's not. Like you do it. Why don't you lift your arms up? Yeah.
I love it when people criticize it, and I'm like, give me 60 seconds.
Right? Right.
And
do this.
Yeah.
Not like
just hold your arms out for 60 seconds. Like
right. And it's
seriously.
Like, and like you see people doing it and you're like, you're doing it wrong. Like it's I mean, I used to do it wrong. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, I feel it takes a while to like really be doing it the way that you're supposed to. So yes. Definitely from the outside looking in, sometimes it looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of, who is this very beautiful little person in this outfit waving, jumping?
Yeah.
Oh, let me explain this to you again.
Yeah, you just got to do it at least 10 times in a row, and then I'll talk to you about it.
Right. Give it a try.
So how do you fit your workout into your life? Just like, what's your routine around it?
So I'm a morning person pretty much. The working from home thing really does have its benefits. So like Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, sometimes I do a yoga Monday and Wednesday mornings, and then I will do a class, usually around lunch if I can't get it in earlier. I don't like to do things late in the afternoon. I saw somebody post a post from somebody on the Tamily saying that, I usually don't work out at night because I'm full of food or I'm this, and I'm like, I'm tired, and I'm like, she's right. Like, why am I so like resistant to doing it at night? I mean, I do know that kind of activity can kind of inhibit me from sleeping because I get overstimulated, but there really shouldn't be a reason why I don't do it. Like eating and, being tired, like is, in the way of everything that I just said about motivation. So, yeah, I'm a morning. And I haven't done it yet this morning because I blew out my hair last night.
It looks gorgeous.
Yes. My Dyson Airwrap.
Oh gosh, yeah. What is your personal philosophy about working out?
Well, it's like I said, it's my job. It's not something I have to do. I mean, it is something I have to do, but it's like I get to do it. And I tell myself this, that whether I'm doing a Tracy Anderson, after every practice, whether it's yoga, it's like I take a moment and I tell myself, this sounds corny, but I say, I am so grateful that I have this body, this life that allows me to have a great room like this and pay for something like this and interact with people. Like, I am so lucky. I mean, I get choked up thinking about it because your life can go in a lot of different ways. So it's like a gift.
Absolutely. And if you just think about it like that and recognize that, like sometimes we just don't slow down to think in that way. I mean, that's exactly what you should do. And to your point, whether it's Tracy, whether it's yoga, like being thankful for this body and the privilege of being able to move and do this and have access to, such a wonderful method and an amazing community. It really is.
This community is amazing. I think about, the financial aspects of this and, the support from my friends. And I think I read on one of the Facebook pages that somebody was going to give somebody a scholarship for, what? Like, I have been active in a yoga community for years and I have not even heard one person even think about doing that. And this is
right.
That is amazing. Like, yeah. Who does that? I mean, I would totally support it. Yeah, Mary. I mean,
right.
Like, where's the GoFundMe? I think that is amazing to give that gift of. It's more than health. It's psychological health. It's physical health. It's everything.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that, like you said before, doing the method by yourself and like being isolated, it's still a great method. And I don't know how people find the motivation to do that. But when you take it to another level with a community like this, it's just beyond.
It is. Like, and when you're feeling like a wane in motivation, you just open it up and you're like, oh, look, there's somebody with 6 kids hanging off them doing this.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you actually discover the Tamily? Like, when did that happen? And
well, that was after the Catherine Raz love affair.
Okay.
When I saw her in the yellow leotard in the garage, and I'm like looking at the hashtags, and I'm like, what is this? And then I started following them on Instagram. Like, of course I had to Google, like, what am I doing on Instagram? Mm-hmm. What do these hashtags mean?
Right.
Like, and then I saw all of these other things showing up, and like, oh, I gotta go find Tracy. And then I found out the notifications. Oh shit! It's like it is an obsession. Completely, but that's how I found all of you guys. And then I felt like stupid about requesting to follow people. Like, who's this like creeping Kay Farragalli? Like,
none of us think that.
Well, this before I had like the Tam account. Like, I get when it says Tam.
True.
I had people that request to follow me if it doesn't say Tam, because I don't want like weird dude working people. Like I don't need my, you know what I mean. So like I'm like, what are these people thinking? And I know, like now I know, but back then I was like, hi,
right.
Can I be your friend?
But now we're all like, oh my God, somebody new in the Tamily.
I know, I'm like, oh, what do you just stick with it. I'm like, there's a whole bunch of misspellings. Sorry.
Right. Like, overly excited.
Yeah.
And then did you start posting not until after the Vitality Week, or like what, how did that happen?
I think I had like I created the Tam on the East Side account a while ago, and I think I posted one video.
Okay.
And I did it in such a way that nobody would ever see it. Which I don't even know how I did that. So I think it was like no hashtags. Oh, I had no followers. That's it.
Okay.
And the only people that were following me were like my nieces and nephews, because of like people you may know. And they kept trying to follow me. And I'm like, no, stop it. You won't understand. And then after Vitality Week, you guys gave me the push to do it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. Here it goes. All the wardrobe malfunctions.
Well, we're so glad that you did.
Oh, me too. Me too. I love it.
Our last planned question for you, and of course we'll check if there's any more in the chat, is where do you live and what do you do?
I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm from Philadelphia. I moved here with my first husband like back in 2012, and that marriage didn't work out. But now I'm married to Bill, and he's great. And he was at Vitality Week. He's like my little Tracy Anderson method Sherpa. He's awesome. Like so cool. Like when I go to the studio, he walks me to the studio and he sits there with me and he waits for the class to be over. He's really cute. And I am in sales. I sell like a very creepy thing. I sell basically information about people. So I work for Thomson Reuters. So anytime, it's basically to prevent money laundering. Anytime you open a bank account or apply for a loan, or you go through a system, and I provide them with the data on people. So I have a system that shows you everything about everyone.
That's fantastic.
It's weird. It is weird.
Well,
no, I cannot go
we're
in
all
there and
weird.
search for people. I can't. It's against the rules.
So Mary has a question for you, which is how many wardrobes did you buy at Vitality?
Is that Seattle?
It is.
Yeah. So I'm still pissed off about that dress, Mary. You know what I'm talking about. She bought this dress. I'm like, oh, I looked at it. Next thing I know, she's buying it. I'm like, ah! I was like, oh. I bought several. I'm actually wearing the bodysuit that I got there. I spent a lot of money at Vitality Week, and that is, so people have their vices. I am a spender. Like it just goes right through my, thank God there's like forced savings. I bought many outfits there. I think I left with like 3 more bags than what I came with.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's ridiculous.
So while you have this audience, actually, wait a second. We have another question. What do you do when you don't feel like working out?
Like, what do I do when I do it? I usually it's because I don't want to get out of bed, right? So first thing in the morning, I'm all cozy in there, and I'm like, the alarm goes off, the hack tacks on the watch start, hack ticks where they start going off, and I also have the lights go on in my bedroom, so there's really no way that I can turn them off because they're like automated.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's kind of creepy again. So what do I do? I just do it. I'm like, you have to do this. It always goes back to that mindset, and it's so ingrained in me, and just go in here and just do it. And I mean, because there's no one else in the room, it's really hard. Like when you're in the studio at Vitality Week, you see these people just crushing the workout. I mean, you guys were around me, and I'm like, what? And I'm like laying there. I mean, I left the room. I thought that it was like somebody took the pin on the record and went across, like, somebody's walking out. I'm like, that's me. I'm going to die. But yeah, it's hard, and you just have to do it because Or maybe if I'm really feeling like something, maybe I'll just do a multitask and maybe see it come back to it later. I don't know, but I just do it.
Well, what else would you like to share with the Tamily while you have this audience?
Oh, I mean, I just love this community so much. I wish that I was more engaged in it. Like, I'm totally a creeper. Like, I'm just like the liker, and I say a few things. I can get really stuck down that Instagram hole. It's so funny because I spend most of my time on this Instagram, not my personal account. And I have no idea what's going on in other people's lives. People are like, oh, did you see my son? I'm like, no,
Right.
no idea. But so I just, you know, I just, everyone is such an amazing person, and you guys are all such inspirations, and you all work so hard. And if I'm not like good at responding or commenting, just know that that's what I feel. I mean, and I mean that in like 100% of who I am, that I know how hard it is to change your life. If that's what you're doing, I know how hard it is to get up every morning and every day and do this. And like, you have my support, like 100% in anything. And these just, you know, the things that happen in our lives, I mean, shit, life can just be fucked. And you are like, sorry. And you just don't know what's happening. And like to be able to have a community that you can share that with, and like with no judgment, and it's a beautiful thing. Like I just said, it's a beautiful thing. That's a little over the top, but we're really, really very lucky. So, and I love all of you guys.
Well,
People whose names I only know is like _Tam.
Right. Well, you are a tremendous inspiration, and especially, you know, being open and sharing like challenges that you've been through and where you've gotten to today, and just your outlook and mindset is incredibly inspirational. So thank you so much for being our 78th interview.
Thank you so much, Tampa Suzanne.
Absolutely.
So I'm so happy to be a part of this. You guys are great. And I know there's a Vitality Week going on right now, and I'm super jealous.
Oh my God, so am I. I haven't even looked at anything because I'm like, oh, I wish I was there.
I know. And then you know that studio is like crazy hot.
Yeah.
And I'm crazy cold here in Cleveland. It's like snowing.
Right. I feel like it's cold in South Carolina, so definitely.
Well, so I thank you guys. Thank you. I see some people. Hi.
Thank you very much. And have a great weekend, and happy 2020, Tamily.
You too. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.